Nashville, help me welcome to the stage the captain of Crushers GC and the 2024 U.S. Open champion, Bryson DeChambeau!
Gosh, I'm trying to hold it in right now. The support's been overwhelming.
Tickets for Nashville this week are nearly sold out. We are calling this the Bryson effect.
I mean, with how much support we have out here, and it's just the start, that's a testament to what Live Golf is and what the Crushers are doing, what our team's doing, and what we're trying to do for Nashville and places all across the globe. So super excited for the future of Live.
It was nice to at least walk down the last few holes, or at least the last hole, knowing that it was pretty much done. It's never safe, but very proud of everybody, and of course Tiro. I mean, what a week to get his first win in a few years and win by 6 in an absolutely dominant performance the way he did. It was absolutely incredible, so I couldn't be happier for him.
Certainly with not winning for 3.5 years, you kind of naturally question if you can do it again. So I'm just proud of myself to be able to get through that and play the way I did.
Ferrall has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. It's Ferrall on a bench, coast to coast, in the biggest way possible. Hanging out the bad, see the broken, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shake-it-up, Snoopy, along with the one and only Carver High. Mafia's running it with Luke, I am your father. It's C2C on a Monday, and here's what we got gigging today with you. Morency will join us from Vancouver for a double shot. Coach Young will also be here to talk about all of the NBA free agency. Adam Kaplan is our NFL insider, and our boy, John Kincaid from the Fanatic in Philadelphia to talk about all the moves the Sixers made and a little Phillies, Eagles, whatever else we feel like talking about. He was just at the NHL draft in Cincinnati, beautiful Las Vegas, baby, at the Sphere. So we'll get his reaction to that. Carver High, hope you had a good weekend. Just for the citizenry, just an update. This will now happen every day, Monday through Friday. Obviously, C2C with Ferrall and Carver High back together again, 5 days a week. Now, Thursday is the 4th of Ferrall, and I spend the day, as you know, Carver High, messing around with M80s, a very dangerous way to spend a holiday, but I will be trying to not blow my hands off with M80s as I throw them at neighbors that I don't like in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, that is frowned upon, honestly. You really don't want to be involved. I don't want to have to be giving you a high 4 next time I see you or something like that. Like we don't need any of that. You don't need any of that as we continue to go. Great weekend, of course, as we get set for a 4th of Ferrall week coming up on Thursday. We have a lot to get to today. It's very busy with the NBA and the NHL both having free agency starting today. But we do have a couple of live things that we need to get to before we get to that. Only 3 baseball games today, which is actually not cool whatsoever. One of them is in the afternoon because it is Canada Day up north of the border, Scotty. July 1st, Canada Day, and as usual, as tradition, the Blue Jays are playing at home in the afternoon. They have the Astros in town for a start of a series. Hunter Brown goes for Houston. Yariel Rodriguez is going for the Jays, Scotty, in this one, who minus 135 for the Astros, total of 8.5 here up in Toronto.
Are they going to close the roof? Why is there a delay? Is it raining or something? Like it's beautiful
I believe
in New
it's
York.
just Canada Day festivities going on. Canada Day pregame festivities. Nothing earth-shattering with the roof or anything like that. That's all, Scotty. There was a change to the Blue Jay lineup just before they started. Vladimir Guerrero was in. Now he is out. If you remember, I don't know if you saw the Yankee game yesterday, he got hit in the hand by Cole in that game. He was in the lineup about an hour and a half ago. Now he's not in the lineup. So no Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
He was
torched
lighting it up.
The Yankees over the weekend. I mean, he had a couple of long home runs, was really starting to get hot. Hopefully not a long-term situation for him. Yes.
I'll take the Astros in that game, not because of that, but because they've won 9 of 10, and they're on fire right now, and they're above 500 finally, and they have turned the corner, and I will take Houston over Toronto.
Yeah, that's where I would lean as well. Astros have gotten hot, and as much as I used to kick around Hunter Brown, he's actually been pretty good in the month of June that just finished up. So Hunter Brown has been a lot better for the Stros, and he is going today. Also going on this afternoon on a Monday, we do have Euro knockouts over across the pond in Germany. Portugal and Slovenia is our matchup during our window this afternoon. Of course, Portugal heavy favorites here, Scotty, minus 275, plus 850 for Slovenia with 4-1 to the draw. You already had France get a late goal to send Belgium home earlier today in Germany. So France escapes to the round of 8 as well, Scotty, as we get ready for Portugal now.
Honestly, Denmark, Belgium, Netherlands, they all go home. And it's been happening in the World Cup as well. The Dutch nations, if you will, are not doing well in these world stage soccer events. They got beat again today with a late goal, so it's good night, Irene, for them. You lose. Denmark got beat, I thought, by the refs in their game over the weekend. I thought there were some horrible calls for Germany. Of course, they're the host nation. They want to make sure they're in the final.
They do want to make sure of that. Netherlands, they play Romania tomorrow, where they are favorites. But like you said, things don't always go well for them in that knockout round. And I'm tired of Belgium. This was a long while. They had a really strong team for a long time, De Bruyne, etc. And they have not been able to ever get it done in these major tournaments. Yes.
I am still a fan of Belgian waffles.
As you should be, especially those big jumbo ones that take up the entire plate. You know, you gotta get the big jumbo Belgian waffles that go right there.
Belgian waffles, honestly.
Little drizzle on the top as well.
Like the hotels where they let you make them yourself. I was in Bloomington making Belgian waffles. You flip the machine over and you wait 2 minutes and then it comes out perfect. I mean, those are just fantastic.
I'm surprised.
It's the best thing ever invented.
I'm surprised that that's not like an insurance possible violation. You get somebody burning their hand there in those waffle makers, but they let you do it, and that's fine. It's all good. It's the summertime, baby. All right, so we have that going on live. Basically, the weekend, we'll get through a bunch of stuff. Hey, did you like Cam Davis at 70-1 at the Rocket Mortgage this weekend?
Oh, my God.
Did you like Cam Davis at 70-1 at the Rocket Mortgage? That was pretty good.
It's the 70-1 with the
70-1 for Cam Davis.
I don't even care about the golf. I just want the money.
I'd like to thank Batia for missing that putt on 18 yesterday that avoided the play. I didn't even have to. I thought I was going to sweat a playoff, and the guy missed it. It is a very busy day in both the NHL and the NBA. Yes, we crowned their champions a few weeks ago.
How many shekels did you win on that, honestly? I mean, honestly.
It was a good hit. It was a good hit.
It was like,
Cam Davis
that one might.
I wish I had more.
Pay for the. Where do you go to the Wolf Lodge? That might be a vacation there.
Yeah, maybe might be able. We'll see. We're still trying to determine where the late August annual trip is going to be. You
want all that money? Willie will be ready to pack the car.
We don't want to get Willie involved in it whatsoever. NBA and NHL free agency today. Lots of big moves on both sides. Of course, with the NBA, you've got Paul George going to the Sixers. Klay Thompson is going to go to the Dallas Mavericks, Scotty, that we will discuss.
God, can you imagine
how about that?
he went to Dallas and he blew off his dad and his roots and L.A. and LeBron and everybody in Lipstick City? I cannot believe, to be honest with you, that's the one. Like, they're all kinds of moves, but that's the one that threw me. Now, I knew they were in the mix. I knew it was the Mavs, Clippers, and Lakers, and I cannot fathom that kid who grew up at the Forum and at Staples watching the Lakers and being a Laker fan and watching his father, and his father worked for the Lakers. I cannot believe that kid blew off the Los Angeles Lakers to go to the Dallas Mavericks and play with those two ball hogs. Honest to Christ, I almost fell over. What in God's name is he thinking? That has to be for tax reasons. $50 million, no state tax. That's what that is. California, he was going to get $12.9 million, and then the state takes 13% of it, whether you like it or not. No wonder people hate Newsom.
I think you can make a case for that with some of these NHL deals as well. How about Nashville? Stamkos, Marchessault, Brady Shea, all going to the Nashville Predators. Gensel going to Tampa, which really came out of nowhere last night. 7-year deal at $9 million per. So lots of big hockey deals that we will discuss today as well.
Oh, my God. The Stammer goes to Smashville. I have seen it all. And Kaner stays in Detroit for one more year.
Yeah. Another year in Detroit.
Anyone that's been to a sporting event, the atmosphere before a game, I think Game Time Decisions has that same exact atmosphere. This is our arena. This is what we do. There is going to be an energy to Game Time Decisions that you will feel night in and night out. The excitement you get when you lock your bets in, when you're figuring out what you want to do, we can zone in on the biggest games each night. I want this to be the place that people come to before the games start so they feel as ready as possible to lock in their cards. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions to get that new information, react to it, and be able to then bet accordingly. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune into Game Time Decisions from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern on SportsGrid.
11 and 12. I know you're going to get Mafia excited here. Hot and bothered.
You got to put Aaron Rodgers here and the Jets at 11. I would put him higher, but again, he barely played football last season. They've addressed their offensive line. It's not going to be great. The depth at wide receiver is a problem for me. Defense, perhaps the best in the National Football League. If Rodgers plays 14 games, they're probably going to win that division over the Bills.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Like cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds? Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
It's the BetMGM offer of the week. Get up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first bet doesn't win. For all the games in the NBA Finals. Set your picks and shoot your shot. And turn any game into a must-watch. Download the BetMGM app, and it's on.
can catch Sports Rage every night on all of our affiliates on the TV side and all the streaming networks, you name it, all of the regular TV stations, all the radio outlets, including Sports Byline USA and their affiliates out of San Francisco, and Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio in San Diego, from Baja to the Canadian Rockies, all over the West Coast, on the Boomstick out of Rosarito, and of course on satellite radio all over the Southern Hemisphere on Sirius XM channel 159 at Sports Rage, weeknights at 10. Thank God we've got Morency on C2C every day, so I don't have to deal with all that. I know this, that it's Canada Day north of the border, and Morency is having none of it. Still working tonight like a champion, not buying into all the shenanigans. He will take off the 4th of Ferrall and Friday for a 2-day bender. Why no love to Canada Day? I'm not feeling it. Carver High's not feeling it. You have shaken it off. You told me you're from Quebec, and you have no time for shenanigans.
Yeah, you know what? No, I actually am a big Canada Day guy. I hope people enjoy themselves today. But I'm not going to leave you hanging, Scott, on a Monday. Massive Monday night tonight. We got Uruguay and the USA. USA trying to qualify in advance in the Copa Americas. Free agency. Too much going on for me. And I actually like doing the show. So it's not like for me, it's not work for me. But I'm going to be off Thursday and Friday, so I didn't need Monday off as well, Scott. And speaking of Friday, actually, the Rolling Stones are playing at BC Place. And I know you saw them recently, so I figure, hey, we're off. It kind of writes itself. We're off. We've got the day off already. The network is, there's a couple of shows on, but we're not on for 2 days, the 4th and the 5th. And the Stones are playing on the 5th. So I'm going to go see the Rolling Stones one last time.
And then keep see a little rock and roll. See my little rock and roll. See my little rock and roll. I can't sing the words because they're dirty. A little TNA. Let's get it with Keith Richards and Mick. You're going to have a blast. That sounds fun. First, let's start with NHL free agency. Morency, you're already taking shots at my Penguins.
Well, they're not the only team that's been inactive today, but you have to wonder, what is Dubas doing? What is the vision? What is the plan? They didn't want to pay Gensel. They traded Gensel, so clearly we see Gensel ends up with the Tampa Bay Lightning when it's all said and done. But you get Crosby to come back. What's the point at this point? Like, if you're Crosby, you have to be a little bit frustrated. I mean, fortunately for Penguin fans, he has a lot of loyalty, and I don't really think he wants to go somewhere else. But you have to wonder, Scott, at some point, if he wants to win another Stanley Cup. I mean, the Pittsburgh Penguins have done absolutely nothing at all. But we're in a tough spot right now in free agency. There's a lot of frustrated fans around the league, Scott. And I've been talking about this for a couple of weeks now. And look, the Florida Panthers just won the Stanley Cup. They just re-signed Reinhart. So Reinhart got like an $8 million a year deal, and a nice, pretty long one too. I think it was an 8-year deal. It's pretty long.
Don't regret
that. Reinhart's from Vancouver, right? And there was a little thing. Listen, he's won the Cup. Maybe he wants to play at home now. $8 million in Florida, that's like $12 million for the Canucks. 4 of the last 5 winners, Scott, in the Stanley Cup. And by the way, one of the teams that lost, the teams that lost were also tax-free states. It's a massive advantage right now, Scott. Look at Jake Gensel. Everybody wanted Gensel. Where did he end up? Like, basically his agent put it out there, tax-free states only. Right? Like, even the Carolina Hurricanes, who freaking traded for him, couldn't keep him. They wanted to pay him $8 million a year. And he basically said, $8 million in Florida is more than $8 million here. Point blank.
That's right. And that's all there is to it.
Scott, you can't compete with this in the NHL, bro. Like I said, 4 of the last 5 Cup winners, tax-free states. You can't compete with it. Gensel, Reinhart, dude, I follow this stuff so closely, Scott, and agents and all this stuff. Good players are basically telling teams, listen, if I can't get a deal done with a tax-free state, I'll talk to you. but I got to do this first. I'm going to try to do this first. Tennessee's another one. And now look, Stamkos, sure, I'll go there. You know what I mean? Like, look, Marcia, so sure, I'll go there. Like, it used to be all Canadian teams can't sign. Even New York now, like California, like these teams are screwed. And it's a massive problem. It's a competitive advantage, bro. Everybody wants to play for Florida or Vegas now.
Nevada.
And yeah, because you know what? I'll play golf. I don't get taxed. And the weather's beautiful. It's a real problem in the NHL right now, bro.
Do you think that that's why Klay Thompson blew off L.A., where he's from and grew up, a Laker fan? His dad worked there, played there. He grew up on the court watching his father. He is a Laker fan his whole life. And he went to Dallas because he doesn't have to pay taxes on that $50 million.
Well, Clay's a little bit different. And you know what, Scott? It's interesting you ask that because I've talked about this. NBA players don't care. All right? They're not going to panic about the tax situation. Major League Baseball players. Ohtani was in California. If anybody, you know what I mean? The guy's at $770 million. He's fine, right? The problem is, Scott, NHL players are making $2 million, $5 million, $10 million. Even if you're a star player and you're Crosby, you're making $12 million a year. Do you want to give up 6 of it every year? Right? Like, it adds up. If you're Shohei Ohtani and you got $600 million, you don't care. You got creative accounting, yeah, whatever. Right? So there's, an NFL, similar situation. People are happy to be in the league. You're making money and you're getting paid well. Like Mahomes doesn't, Mahomes isn't, I got to go to the Dolphins because I'm going to make a couple of extra $1 million. It matters if you're an NHL player and you're only making $7 million a year.
Yeah, it's a really good point. We got another one with Morency coming up. Don't go anywhere.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Like cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
Talking to Morency. Catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 o'clock on SportsGrid TV and on all of our radio outlets. And you can catch him here every day in the first hour of C to C. So, so Clay goes to Dallas. I almost fell over. What did you think of the deals? I mean, the 76ers today were printing money. They signed so many guys today, and the only guy that left was Tobias Harris. He's gone, I think. Pretty much that's it. They signed everybody. I mean, Paul George, they gave him 212. Maxey 204. Oubre 16 and a half. I think Drummond went there. It just went on and on and on. Eric Gordon went there for a one-year deal. Like, what in the hell? I'm talking to Kincaid later in Philly about this guy. This GM went nuts.
I'll tell you what,
Morey.
Scott. I saw the numbers, the career numbers. Tobias Harris has made $302 million playing in the NBA. And like, this is like when there's a question, like, you know, I've always said, Scott, the NFL is like 80% of guys in the NFL are only in the NFL because they couldn't play in the NBA. And they'll tell you this. And this is why. Point blank. Like, you got to be Patrick Mahomes to get into this. Like, he's made more money than Tom Brady has. Tobias Harris. No disrespect to him. He's an okay player.
Can you explain it? There's nothing that makes sense to me of those numbers. Like that number that Brown got last year, 350 whatever million in Boston. Like, you can't even explain these numbers to me. No guy's worth that much money.
They have a salary cap, and they split up the amount of money that the league is generating, and the NBA is printing money. We can talk about, well, the ratings are down in the finals and this and that, and it's been a pretty anticlimactic offseason, let's be real, when Paul George is the biggest story. But with that being stated, they're printing money. And, you know, the amount of money that players make in the association, it is crazy, but this is why. And, you know, NFL players, I've always said, you know, if you can, you play Major League Baseball, right? Because the contracts are guaranteed. But now the NBA is checking in here, bro. It's unbelievable. You're set for life. If you're a journeyman player in the NBA, you're going to be $100 millionaire. You're going to like have more money. How much money has Crosby made in his entire career? Not that much, like $100 million or something. Like, he used to make $6 million a year. Like, even now he makes like 10 or 12 or whatever. It's crazy. As far as the Sixers, though, Scott, so what? Like, Paul George really put the Clippers over the top, right? You know what I mean? Like, so you bring Paul George in. I do like Maxey. They'll only go as far as Embiid's health is concerned, and Embiid is always broken down and worn out late in the season. I don't hate it for the Sixers. I know they did the best possible thing they could do. I don't really know if this puts them over the top, though, that they have Paul George.
Yeah, I mean, I'll give you that he never got it done with the Clippers. I think that's more on the Clippers. That's been going on long before he was there, and it'll go on long after he's gone.
Don't you think, though, Paul George... And listen, everybody gets paid a max contract. Everyone makes a ton of money. Look at OG Anunoby. I mean, hell, Fred VanVleet's making $45 million a year with the Houston Rockets right now, right? Like, moving in on $50 million a year.
I mean, that's crazy. That should be illegal.
That's what I'm saying. You know, though, Scott, you have some teams, though, bro. It's sort of like the Raptors with Quickly. They gotta kind of overpay them a little bit. The Raptors have a hard time getting free agents, talking about tax situations. Yeah, they've won, but it's not like the most... Once players are on the Raptors, they like it, right? They're like, oh, Toronto's awesome. And the organization's pretty classy and stuff. Like, it's very well run. They treat the players well. So people like it once they're on the team, but it's hard. You know what I mean? We're in a world right now, like, there's only a few teams that players want to sign with in every league right now. Right. So you sort of have to overpay a little bit. So a team like the Rockets, we got to overpay. We got to spend some money. You know, we got to get players to come here. Another tax-free place. But quickly on the Raptors, Scott. So when you wrap it all up, OG stays with the Knicks. They had to keep him. They do. Yet, if you look at it, the Raptors end up getting Quickly, RJ Barrett, and the draft pick. Pretty good player, bro. They got this Mogbo kid out of San Francisco who happens to be Scotty Barnes, one of his best friends. They played together as kids. Right. They know each other. So, not bad. Listen, I love OG.
A load of money, too. And let me ask you real quick. What did you think of Russell winning in Austria, the Grand Prix, and it wasn't Verstappen, it was somebody else? I always like when someone else wins.
Dude, this year has been wild. I'm a Verstappen fan. It's no walk every week. He's winning like every 2 weeks now, but it's competition. Lando Norris, George Russell, these guys coming on.
All right, Morency, Canada.
Happy.
technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hobert.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High, let's get busy on this NBA free agency. It's crazy.
Yeah, it certainly is crazy, Scotty. There is a lot going on, and there's a couple of layers to this Klay Thompson going to Dallas situation. We mentioned that this is a multi-team sign and trade that will be a part of this, and that includes Josh Green going to Charlotte.
Everyone
it is
goes
3
to
years.
Charlotte.
Everyone goes to Charlotte. That's for sure. You mentioned before that the Lakers did offer more money to Klay Thompson, but that was not enough to be able to swing him. Another report that just came out says that the Warriors are now going to shift their focus to trying to get Lauri Markkanen out of Utah, Scotty. That is apparently, and they also have now signed DeAnthony Melton to a 1-year, $12.8 million deal. So Melton to Golden State, and Golden State allegedly trying to get Markkanen from the Jazz as a response to losing Klay, but they weren't getting Klay back anyway, Scotty. They didn't want him back.
Well, or Chris Paul. They were getting rid of both of them. And I'll believe it when I see it with Lauri Markkanen, okay? Like, I mean, I'll give you this. He can play. He can shoot pretty decent. But come on. I mean, that is such an absolute train wreck compared to what their plans were. Imagine Paul George playing with the talent that they have still in Curry and Kuminga and Dre and Podziemski and all these young guys that they have. I'm surprised they haven't gotten rid of Wiggins. But Lauri Markkanen and Melton, I mean, honestly, I'd rather have a melted Cuban sandwich than Melton. Are you kidding me? Like, well, honestly, like, I have to start wondering here. Like, I'm going to just say it. The guy Myers, I think, is so much better than Mike Dunleavy's kid. Mike Dunleavy runs them now, and, I mean, take a good look at what he's putting on the table for dinner. I mean, dinner sucks. I'm ordering out. Honestly, the Warriors, to me, that is crash and burn right now with what you're telling me. That's what they're giving you? Lauri Markkanen and Melton? Honestly, I mean, I'd rather have Laverne and Shirley honestly.
Yeah.
What is happening here? I mean, honestly.
You mentioned Wiggins. The word is also that they want to get Wiggins out in Golden State, that they don't want him around anymore. So maybe that would be one of the pieces that they would maybe move to Utah in a potential marketing deal. We shall see. Of course, things are happening fairly quickly. Things didn't happen very quickly for the Sixers last night as well, Scotty. They will give Paul George 4 years, $212 million. A lot of gas for them, that's for sure. Of course, they moved up both in the NBA title and the Eastern Conference odds boards after this move. As you see, a lot of people going to the window for the Sixers. Let me just give you a couple of the other things that they did as well. Maxey, 5 years, $204 million extension. They re-signed Kelly Oubre as well to a 2-year deal. They signed Andre Drummond to a 2-year deal. They signed Eric Gordon to a 1-year deal. So George, Gordon, and Drummond going in at Philly, and they re-signed Maxey and Oubre.
Okay, so let's cut through the pizza here. First of all, Drummond's a fat ass and a hack, okay? And he can rebound, and that's it. And he can dunk. So what? And he's legitimately close to 300 pounds, and they're paying him $5 million. Okay, when you make $5 million now in the NBA, you suck. Okay? Eric Gordon, another fat ass who can shoot from outside and gives you absolutely nothing else. I'm sorry, I don't want to hear leader or anything else. They gave him $3 million. When you make $3 million, you suck. That's all there is to it. This is about Paul George and then giving Maxey the 5th year and all that money. And now they have someone, first of all, this guy's unguardable. He's unguardable. He is the best player on the team. It's not Embiid, it's this kid. This kid is so good, and he plays. He plays every day. He doesn't miss 2 months at a time with knee problems like Embiid does. Secondly, Embiid gets shot at the end of the year. From game 60 to 80, he's shot. He's on one leg. He's got a bad knee. He's got bad knees, and he never gets it done. I've been hearing about this team winning titles since 1983, and they never win jack. Okay, now they have a guy that's unguardable. They have a big that goes to the line 30 times a game because he gets every call, and they give him awards left and right for walking up the court. He walks up the court. He doesn't run. He can't run. He's on one leg. And now they got a guy who's a legitimate scorer from anywhere, outside, on the wing, in the corner, driving, on the elbow. George can do it all, but they gave him a ton of money in 4 years. And I'm telling you, in my opinion, in 2 years, he'll be old. So I think they got 2 real good years with him, not 4, 2 good years with him to do it. And they never do it. You know what they are? They are the East Coast Clippers. That's what they are. Always talked about, always hyped, all these bettors running to bet them to win the Eastern Conference Finals. Let me tell you something. They're still not better than the Celtics. They're still not better than the Knicks. And the Knicks already kicked their ass in the playoffs, and they'll do it again. And remember, they're getting Randall back, and they added Bridges. They got the entire Villanova team and Randall. And the worst thing they did was lose white boy Rick Hartenstein. I'm telling you, I don't buy them. I think they're better for 2 years. I certainly think he's better than Tobias Harris. I'll give you that. But the rest of those guys, all the other side. Now, Oubre, I like $16.5 million. He's a baller, and he gets up and down and can do it all. He's a flyer. They got to have somebody that can run with Maxey, right? So it's Oubre. Oubre and Maxey can get up and down the floor. The rest of them can't. Embiid can't. Drummond certainly can. He's fatter than me. And your boy, Eric Gordon's so shot. Honestly, can you imagine someone gave him $3 million today? Like, honestly, he should be playing with me on Monday mornings.
Look,
I'm not wrong.
4 years and $200+ million for a guy who's 34 years old. And listen, right. I'll give him credit. He finally played 74 games last year, which was a lot considering he never played that many in his years in the Clippers. 56, 31, 54, 48. He finally played 70+ games. When are we going to start to realize that this guy's the Black Cloud Diner as well? We say it about Harden all the time. He never wins anywhere.
You're right,
Indiana, he never won. He was the missing piece in OKC. They never won. And then it was he's going to bring the Clippers a title. They never won. Now he's going to bring a title to Philadelphia. I just don't see it. It's Black Cloud Diner. Everywhere he's gone, they don't win.
I can't wait to hear Kincaid and get his opinion of it because I don't know what it is. I don't know if he's going to try to sell me that they're loaded now and the most dangerous team in basketball, or if they just got a guy that scores a lot and doesn't do anything else. And let me tell you something else. I will take every day the trend of the numbers that you just gave me of games played over 1 year of 74. I will say by year 2, he's back to playing somewhere in the neighborhood of 55 games. And by year 3, he'll be playing somewhere in the neighborhood of 48 to 55 games. I'm telling you, guys that play, that's their track record. It's real simple. And the same thing goes with Embiid. It's simple. Proof's in the pudding. Mike Trout is in that club now. Mike Trout never plays. So you have to understand. And then every year, Stanton, he's going to miss his month vacation. Where's he right now? In the Caribbean, battening down the hatches for that hurricane in one of his villas? Hey, he ain't around. Hey, he goes on vacation every summer. I mean, this guy's out for a month or two every summer. So there are players that fall into that category, and I think George is one of them. I don't deny he can fill it up when he plays.
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. You know, he was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes obviously after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
How does a 50% tennis odds boost token sound? BetMGM account holders are going to get a 50% tennis odds boost token to use on a tennis straight bet when they opt into this promotion. Go to the BetMGM app on iOS or Android and check it out. You're going to love it, or BetMGM.com for full details. Wimbledon, tennis bets, odds boost token, 50% odds boost. Are you kidding me? That'll make me watch tennis on the grass and watch tennis players all wear white. You give me that much money, that's like Carver High 70 to 1. My God, these people at BetMGM.
Yeah, we've made it, right? 2 weeks on the grass at the All England Club coming up here the next few weeks. So we have a lot of tennis to get involved with, that's for sure. The All England Club.
Indubitably, Michael.
Yes, indeed. Let's give you some more of these NBA moves. Of course, the Knicks made a lot of their noise last week with their deals. They lost one of their main pieces from the team this year, Isaiah Hartenstein. 3 years, $87 million, goes to OKC. So nice offseason, I think, for OKC so far, Scotty, getting Hartenstein and Caruso from the Bulls to add with that young mix that made a little playoff run last year.
I mean, now look, I love Abe Lincoln. I think Chet is a great young player, but he is, without a doubt, needs to go to Golden Corral and hit the all-you-can-eat shrimp and beef brisket. He needs to eat more and put on muscle. He's a toothpick. And that problem was solved today by getting white boy Rick. Your boy Isaiah Hartenstein is a grown man, violent with skills. He's got a game. He's got a floater. He can hit free throws. He rebounds. He blocks shots. He plays every night. The guy is a gargantuan problem. And, he's one of these guys that no one talks about until you see him on your team playing. This is a gigantic loss for the Knicks, losing Hartenstein, and then he goes over to the Thunder where that's my son's favorite team. The young gun loves the Thunder, and they are loaded. And they got rid of Giddy Kitty and got Caruso, like you said, Mike. They are lethal. That team is absolutely lethal. They are going to win. If you were living anywhere near there, get season tickets. You go watch them win every night. They're going to win 50-plus games automatic. Automatic. They're just too talented, too young, too fast, too good, too deep. They now have 2 starting 5 units on the floor that can beat anyone in the NBA. Now they got 2 of them. And I mean legit. They are no joke, legit. And they have to be, I feel, top 3 in the Western Conference for odds to go to the NBA Finals. It's that simple.
I agree. They should be right there. A very good offseason for them so far. The Warriors waived Chris Paul yesterday. He signed with the San Antonio Spurs. God bless and good luck to Chris Paul.
What's your opinion of that, Mike?
I honestly don't. I don't think much of it. To be fair, I don't think it makes the Spurs all that much better. He's old, right? I mean, what did you think he gave a great burn with the Warriors this year? I didn't. Is he going to help? You want to do the whole help the young players routine? Is that what we want to go with? I don't think he's that guy. I don't think he's a help the young players guy. I think he's a me guy, honestly. And I don't think he's going to do any of that in San Antonio.
Listen, it's a great point by you. And I don't believe I already know. Like, I play with a lot of young kids that are in high school and going D1 to big-time programs that are fantastic players that are way better than me. And I can tell you one thing I've learned being around them is that, I mean, they're all cool and I love them, but not one of them listens to us. Not one of them listens to an older guy or to a better older player, or even I play with retired NBA guys, retired D1 stars, and none of these kids listen to any of them. In fact, they talk smack to them. They're like, we're not afraid of you. We are going to go right by you and score. We don't care what you think, and we don't listen to you. I've always told you in the NBA, players don't listen. They don't listen to coaches. They don't listen in the huddle. They don't listen to the veteran player. That's all a bunch of nonsense. I think you're right, Mike. And look, I have never he's another guy that just never gets it done. He's another one. He's like Paul George. He never gets it done. And he didn't make the Warriors better at all. What did he do to make the Warriors better at all? The only thing the Warriors did well all year, in my opinion, was watch Steph Curry shoot threes. That's it. That's it.
Yep. That's it. That's all that they did well. I don't
sucked.
disagree with that. The Clippers have made several moves. Of course, losing Paul George opened up a lot of money for them. They did re-sign Harden, 2-year, $70 million deal.
My God.
They get Derek Jones Jr., of course, who was with the Mavs, 3 years, $30 million. Nick Batum went back to them as well, so he's out of Philly. 2 years, $9 million, and Kevin Porter Jr., 2-year deal with the Clippers. If you, of course, remember, Scotty, he had some legal problems, was basically thrown out in Houston, was out of the league in the last 3 or 4 months of the season, and now is back after pleading guilty to that misdemeanor and playing overseas for a little bit. Kevin Porter Jr. back in the league.
Well, that's a guy you got to worry about if you're the team security and the GM,
well,
to make sure that his house is in order. I'm sorry, Batum, they smell. And remember this, they smell. What is that smell? When someone walks in and they're like, what is that smell? That's the Clippers. And let me tell you something. Their owner has more money than God and the Catholic Church. And let me tell you something. They built a multi-billion-dollar arena, brand spanking new in Inglewood, Shangri-La, the best arena in the NBA, and they got a stench-ass team to play in it. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. How do you let that team go on the floor and sell tickets at that price to the best arena in the league, the newest arena in the league, and you're going to go watch Batum and Derek Jones Jr.? I mean, you have got to be kidding me. What is that smell?
Technically, despite having the most wins in both the AL and all of Major League Baseball, 52 of them for New York, no longer the best winning percentage.
You expect your front offices to hit that gas pedal when it comes time to get a better team on the field post All-Star break, because the one thing that you know from the Yankees and the Orioles is what, Ben? You're going to fight with each other throughout the stretch here, and you want home field advantage.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
I think the one comparison that I'd like to make that reminds me of Tiger is Scotty's ability to make shots on a Sunday look like shots on a Thursday. And Tiger was so good at doing that too. In the high pressure leverage moments, he didn't lose a step. He was still able to hit it pin high. He's still knocking down flag sticks. He doesn't miss-hit it.
Only on SportsGrid.
This new sports integrity partnership, Genius Sports, is involved in this. More protection.
They said that's going to allow them to beef up their protection and add more integrity monitoring tools to essentially catch bad behavior before it happens. This comes, obviously, after a just ton of scandals we've had across sports betting lately, whether it's the MLB umpire, Pat Hoberg.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
Watch out for USA and Canada in 4 years. Cricket's going to be a sport that's growing.
I made my first cricket bet last week or over the weekend. I was getting a team that was leading like 150 to 5 plus odds. I'm like, I'm up 150 points and I'm getting plus odds. Where do I sign? I love this cricket stuff. What are you kidding me?
In-game live, prime time, only on SportsGrid.
All right, Carver High. The Pistons made some moves. They just keep pouring in these deals, and they end up getting the guy that made $300 million in Philly that never won anything.
Yeah, we got another guy who has made a lot of money in his NBA career, over $300 million. Well, you can add another 52 on top of the pile for Tobias Harris. Goes to the Pistons. And when I saw the tweet about it, Scotty, about the Pistons making that deal, veteran presence for the young team, like we talked about with Chris Paul and the Spurs. Big veteran presence. Tobias Harris and all of his winning is going to bring to the Pistons.
Listen,
Go
this
ahead.
guy,
What's Tobias
honestly,
Harris?
I'm certain of this. This guy is the epitome of a guy that, and I've told you this before, they don't care at all, zero, if they win or lose when they make that much money. They don't care about rings when you never have one and you've never been on a winner. You don't even care anymore if you get one, get near one, sniff one, or even talk about one. Because that guy has made more money than anyone, I think, in the history of the NBA that just absolutely doesn't care one lick about winning. It's written all over his face. Watch him play every night. He gets his 20, and then he says hi to a couple guys when the game's over, and he goes and takes a shower. He knows he'll never win. He knows he never has won, and he doesn't give a rat's ass because he is so filthy rich that his entire family and all their neighbors that mooch off of him are never going to have to work a day the rest of their lives. I mean, they go down and buy 100 scratch-offs every morning just for fun. I mean, honestly, just for fun, because they know daddy's got all the money, and daddy never wins. He don't care. Winning a playoff game, winning a series, winning a ring. Are you kidding me? Tobias Harris could care effing less about anything. And then a veteran presence. He doesn't care about that either. He's like, you're going to give me this much money and I suck this bad and I never win? Keep giving me the money, honey. Honestly, that's exactly who he is. Honestly, I'm on a roll today with these guys. This is carrying over from Friday. I mean, you can't even slow me down.
I will tie in the other Piston news to this as well. They gave Cade Cunningham a 5-year, $226 million max rookie extension. I guess that's, winning 10 games a year since he's been in the league. I guess that'll get you that, $226 million. That's pretty good.
Listen, my man,
that's not bad.
He is cashing in big time, super talented player, but he has to go to a shrink 3 days a week to deal with depression of playing for the Pistons and living in Detroit, okay? He has to see a shrink 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning. Some people have breakfast. He goes to see a shrink because he's so miserable playing there. And he, you know what he is? Remember, Carver High, my favorite word. He's a mope. He's a mope. My man is moping around. He looks like a mope. He looks so miserable playing basketball in Detroit that, you couldn't make that guy smile on Canada Day or his birthday. Honest to Christ.
Maybe $226 million will change that. For him.
He's just rich. He's
okay,
rich.
Well, then how about
he can go down to the Motor City Casino and play some craps. I know that. He can do whatever he wants, but he's depressed.
Well, Monty Williams didn't make him happy last year, that's for sure. They're going to try with JB Bickerstaff this year. He'll be the new coach of the Detroit Pistons, your boy JB.
Listen, I said yesterday on Betting Above the Rim, I'll give him this. He was 170 and 159 at Cleveland, and that means he won more than he lost. Because most guys, if you give them a 5-year deal, I will bet your mother, and I love your mother, Carver High. Liz is one of the greats. I will bet your mother, Liz, any amount of money that every coach, if I name 10 coaches that coached 5 years that are like a hack as bad as Bickerstaff or Monty Williams are, that they won't even go 500. They'll finish at 48, 49, 49 and a half. They can't get to 50% wins. But your boy, Bickerstaff, he was 170 and 159. My man won 11 more games than he lost. He's doing a great job.
Over 500 record. Not easy to do, I guess, in the NBA. All right, I'll come back and finish these, some of the smaller ones for you, a lot of the re-signs, and then we'll get into the hockey, because lots of deals in the hockey today as well.
You better tell your mom I gave her a fat shout-out today.